who has contributed, what it's done, and what this signifies. I'm not sure everyone completely appreciates just how important and how innovative and how leading edge this facility is, and I will leave that to our VIPs and dignitaries to speak about that. But it's my honor and privilege and to introduce to you some of our guests that are here today. First of all, we have a young lady who left employment with Montgomery County seeking employment elsewhere. She got a gig in Annapolis. I think it's, what's the title? Lieutenant Governor. That's what it is. Aruna Miller, our state lieutenant governor, is with us. County Executive Mark Elrich. Marilyn Balcom, County Vice President and District 2 Council Member. Chris Conklin, DOT Director. Troy Patton, General Manager for Alpha Structure. Eric Kaufman, Division Director, Energy Programs, Maryland Energy Administration. Amber Perry, Regional President, Vice President of Governmental Affairs for PEPCO. Jennifer Macedonia is out in the audience. Where is she? Jennifer, our DEP Director, is with us. I'm not sure if Rabia Sabakan has made it. He is our Permitting Services Director, and I'll speak about the role that those two departments played in a moment. Sarah Kogel-Smucker, County Climate Change Officer. There she is. Diana Eisenstatz, representing Senator Chris Van Hollen. There she is. Kathleen Connor, representing Congressman Jamie Raskin. Matt Patterson, representing Congresswoman April McLean Delaney. And I believe out there somewhere is Teresa Warman, delegate, Maryland State Delegate, District 16. And Sydney Katz, council member from District 3, is with us. So before we start with our speakers, it's my duty and privilege to recognize the project team associated that makes something like this possible. So I'm going to just hold off your applause. I'm going to mention some names and then ask everybody that I mentioned to stand up and be recognized. From DGS, Deputy Director Greg Ossent. Don Sherman, Chief of the Office of Energy and Sustainability. Michael Yombrock, Project Manager for that office. Calvin Jones, our DGS Fleet Manager. Steve Palmatier, Fuel Program Manager. Brad Weatherly, our Chief of Materials Management. Frank Grismala, our Equipment Services Coordinator. Keith Stickley, Section Chief and Deputy of Fleet. Richard Greenwood, the Heavy Fleet Mechanic. Del Spurrier with DGS Safety Officer. Aaron Burney, DGS Fleet Program Manager, and James Dela Cruz, DOT Gaithersburg Depot Chief. If I mention your name, stand up. You want to? They're probably already standing up. Along with our private sector partners, these folks worked tirelessly to make this happen. They were having daily meetings. Now I have daily meetings, some of which I wonder why I'm attending. These folks were hard on this project from day one, and they are the reason we're here today, along with our private sector partners, led by Alpha Structure, who is represented here today by Troy Patton. And if you're part of the project team from the private sector, I'll mention the company names. I want you guys to stand up too. Pam Janney with Schneider Electric, Jake Friedman with Azo. I think James DiLiberto, also with Azo, is here. If I butchered that, you'll just have to forgive me. Did I get it? All right. David Aspinwall with Heliox, Matt D'Ambrisi with Heliox, Fadwa Kingsbury with Amp Control, Zaid Shirslaman, okay, with WSP, and Keith Compton with O'Connell and Lawrence. These folks were representing the private sector part of this operation. It does take a team to make something like this happen. So I'd like all of the project team members to stand up and be recognized. Come on, stand up. The folks from Alpha Structure led this team, and they've just been a great partner, and we're very appreciative. Finally, I want to acknowledge with gratitude, if you've been on the website or seen any of the flyers, the aerial photos of this site are beautiful. They're so good, they look fake. They look, the first photo I saw, it looked like a CGI. Is this real? But I want to thank the Montgomery County Police Department and its drone program, who graciously offered to and did an excellent job taking aerial photos of this project. It is outstanding. And not only are they catching bad guys, but and making sure the good guys don't get caught, they're also helping us in an amazing way. So thank you to everybody there. Well, we've got a good program here. Again, exciting things happening today. And I'm going to let our speakers address all the folks that are involved. Did I mention Eric Kaufman? Did I mention you? Okay, good. Because the Lieutenant Governor is about to stand up, and I'm sure she'll say something about that. Anyway, we are in a privilege to live and work in a state that is not afraid of trying what everyone else says is impossible to do. And the initiatives that we're taking on in this, as represented by this project and the ribbon cutting today, show just how leading edge we are, and especially here in Montgomery County, under the able leadership of a governor and lieutenant governor that lead the state well. We're here now to recognize Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller. Lieutenant Governor?
Thank you, David. Good morning, Montgomery County. I'll tell you, yesterday I was so excited about going to a Baltimore Orioles game in which my office was hosting it, because yesterday was National Fentanyl Awareness Day. And as you know, it got rained out. But I'll tell you, it is great to be here this morning, because Montgomery County, you are hitting it out of the park with everything that's happening today. And David Dice, thank you so much, Director Dice, for all your extraordinary leadership here, as well as your whole team that made today's event possible. This project, honestly, is so very exciting. And County Executive Elrich, it's always good to be back home. So thank you for watching over this great county, Maryland's largest jurisdiction. And to Council Member Vice President Balcone, thank you for your leadership and the entire County Council's leadership. To all the elected officials that are here and all our state and local and private sector partners who made today possible. Look, I never take it lightly what it means to be back here in Montgomery County. One, the commute is a whole lot better than going to Annapolis. So please know this, Director Dice, that you can take the girl out of Montgomery County, but you can't take Montgomery County out of the girl. Two, at a time when energy prices are straining families, businesses, and government budgets alike, witnessing the nation's largest solar-powered microgrid at a transit bus depot, that's engineering with purpose. With nearly 10,000 solar panels, this microgrid will generate enough energy to power hundreds of homes and at the same time support a growing fleet of electric and hydrogen-powered buses. I'm trying to think, should I speak a little slower for the ASL here? Okay. Which means clean air for our communities, lower emissions, and a transit system that is ready for the demands of tomorrow. And we know innovative efforts like this take a whole lot of partnership. So hand in hand with Alpha Structure, Troy Patton, thank you for your leadership. And with our utility partners like Pepco, Amber Perry, always good to see you. And of course, with the state of Maryland, all aligned with one goal, to deliver innovative, sustainable solutions that serve people. Look, many of you may know I'm a civil engineer, and as a civil engineer, I know that the truest measure of infrastructure is whether it serves everyone and not just some. This will serve Ride-On's annual 19 million rides. This is what equitable, sustainable infrastructure looks like. So it's worth repeating. This is the largest renewable energy powered transit depot in the nation, as well as the largest transit depot microgrid in the nation, and the first facility on the East Coast to produce green hydrogen on site. This isn't just a local story. This is a Maryland story, and this is a national story. So congratulations to everyone who made this possible. Thank you. Thank you.
I know the Lieutenant Governor is on a tight schedule this morning, so we thank her for attending and her remarks, and just as a reminder to all the other speakers except for the next one to keep their remarks short. But the next one's my boss, so he can talk as much as he wants. Mark Elrich has really pushed an agenda of sustainability and renewable resources and environmental awareness and sensitivity like no one else. He has, and he lives what he believes and what he says, and his inspiration and drive has helped DGS clear obstacles away to achieve what we celebrate today and what we're accomplishing across the county. So it's my pleasure and personal pride to introduce County Executive Mark Elrich.
Thank you, and I am really happy to be here. I got to say, you all are lucky because the original remarks I was handed were for the ribbon cutting on a brewery this afternoon. And as I was looking at him for a moment, I thought you'd be entertained perhaps, and maybe you'd go there. But it didn't address this, so I'm happy to be here and have the right remarks now. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Runa Miller for joining us and the state for its partnership on clean energy and infrastructure. I want to acknowledge Council Vice President Marilyn Balcom, Council Members Katz and Stewart, and Piper Townsend, who represents Council Member Lutke. I want to recognize our federal delegation and thank Senator Chris Van Hollen, Jamie Raskin, and Congresswoman April McLean Delaney's office for their support. I want to thank Alpha Structure, PEPCO, the Maryland Energy Administration, and our federal partners. Seems strange a little bit, but our federal partners for helping make this project possible. I want to recognize Director David Dice, Director Chris Conkin, and the Department of General Services, and the staff, and the Department of Transportation staff, and everybody who makes this go and made this go from concept to reality. Listing all those people gives you an idea. This is not a one-person effort. I could not have done any of this if there were not a team of people who are willing and able to do this work. And I think what we've shown in Montgomery County is you can actually do this. This is not pie in the sky. This is not dream world stuff. This is real world. You can make this progress. We should be doing this more. This project's about resilience and the continuity of government. And microgrid is not simply an energy project. It's an infrastructure that protects government operations when the larger grid is under stress. And we saw why this matters when the small plane struck the transmission lines. Anybody who got to see that, that was exciting. But it also caused widespread outages. And our animal services facility remained operational because it was on a microgrid. I believe that, over time you're going to see more microgrids in downtown areas and other areas because it is a way to provide energy security and protection against blackouts. And I think it's something you're going to see a lot more of. Why this matters is it's a practical demonstration of resilience. Government has a responsibility to plan for disruption before disruption happens. This project reflects that responsibility, and the EMTOC can operate in island remote during outages and keep critical functions moving when residents may need them. The facility is essential to county operations. EMTOC is not a peripheral site. It is one of the county's most important operational facilities. 5th largest county-owned energy consumer. Here we are. It's MCDOT's largest fuel consumer, consuming roughly 1.7 million gallons of fuel annually. And this facility supports a major share of the county's ride-on system, which is the 2nd largest bus fleet in the Washington, D.C. area. By 2035, MTOC is projected to accommodate 200 zero-emission buses. battery electric and hydrogen fuel cell buses. Together with Brookville, these two microgrids will power 335 zero-emission buses. This is infrastructure that supports the daily movement of our residents and the broader transportation needs of the county. Ride-On is the core public infrastructure. It connects residents to work, schools, healthcare, and services. Keeping this facility resilient helps keep that system functioning, and reliable transportation operations become even more important during emergencies and major disruptions. Strengthening the energy background of transit strengthens the continuity of services. Regional warnings about possible power shortages in coming years make investments like this even more urgent. When the people who operate the grid tell you to expect blackouts in the next 2 years, you have a problem. This is one of the ways we can address that problem, at least for this issue. Rising demand, electrification, and data center growth are placing new pressures on the grid, and local governments have to prepare for these pressures instead of waiting to respond after the fact. This project helps Montgomery County do that. Climate investment should strengthen infrastructure. There is a tie between these two things. This project cuts emissions, but its value also lies in making public infrastructure stronger. The microgrid combines solar generation, battery storage, charging capacity, and green hydrogen production in one integrated system. It's expected to reduce county emissions by roughly 4,000 metric tons of CO2 annually, about the equivalent of the electricity used in 780 homes. It can also send renewable energy back to the utility grid, supporting another broad system reliability aspect. And this is a long-term public investment. Brookville provided this model and proved it could work. EMTOC expands it to a larger scale, and this is not a demonstration project. This is an operational infrastructure, and it's supporting the county's long-term needs. So I'm excited about this. This is going to make a big difference for us, and I'm so glad to see those many people come out to see the launching of a microgrid. Who knew? And hopefully we'll be able to launch more microgrids as we go forward. But it's been a real pleasure working with everybody on this team to make this happen, because it just shows the dedication and purpose that everybody has in the work they do. So thank you, David.
See, I told you could take all the time you wanted. So you may not know this, but as we sit here and talk this morning, the county council is busy in Rockville deliberating over various operating and capital budget items. So it's significant that we are represented today by Councilmember Katz and Council Vice President Balcom. And I want to say some especially nice things about them, because mine and Chris Conklin's operating budgets are in front of the council next Wednesday. So I'm just going to start saying really nice things and hope that that has some benefit next week. If it doesn't, it's been nice seeing you all. So again, seriously, the county council has a challenge in weighing priorities, and I think it's significant that they've always found a way to support these initiatives that DGS and DOT and the county executive have championed. What's unique about this project, working with Alpha Structure as our energy as a service partner, we're not paying any capital cost. Nothing that you see here was done by the county writing a capital cost check to anybody. The reduction in capital expenditures was a significant relief on the county's ever aggressive and stuffed capital improvement program. So by doing this and us paying Alpha Structure over a long term through a commodity cost to defray and make it whole for its costs is really a unique approach. It's being done elsewhere, but on the scale that you see here, no. So again, we'll talk about Alpha Structure, but supporting and thanking the council for its financial support and guidance throughout this and other efforts is significant. And I'd like Vice President Balcom to come and talk to us today.
So thank you. As Director Dice mentioned, we're right in the middle of budget. So I'm very happy to be here today. I'm very happy that I'm not in Rockville working on the budget right now, although I have to do that this afternoon. And the last time I was here, it was about 102 degrees with 99% humidity. So these structures are absolutely wonderful. So it's a very exciting. I sit on the Transportation and Environment Committee, and this project really is a nice meld of both transportation and environment. So I want to thank the Montgomery County's Department of General Services, Department of Transportation, Department of Environmental Protection, Office of Environmental Sustainability, and of course our private partners, Alpha Structure. By 2035, the EMTOC, the Equipment Maintenance and Transit Operations Center, EMTOC, is projected to accommodate 200 zero-emission buses, of which most will be hydrogen-fueled cell electric buses. The County Council has been very certainly pro-environment, but we've really been great supporters of the switch to hydrogen buses. It's a very exciting, and we are fully supportive. In addition to being an example of the best practices for renewable energy, this project also serves as a model for successful public-private partnership. As Director Dice mentioned, this project required no capital investment up front, allowing the county to have a predictable energy source and long-term cost certainty. Residents of Montgomery County can take pride in knowing that this installation will be the first transit bus depot in the U.S. East Coast to feature green hydrogen production and will be the largest self-sustaining bus depot in the nation, reducing the county's impact on the environment. So the county has set goals to eliminate greenhouse gas emissions by 2035. And bringing this project online brings us one huge step closer to reaching that goal. So on behalf of the entire County Council, my colleague Sydney Katz is here today. On behalf of the entire County Council, I want to say thank you. Thank you all for thinking of this project, building this project, and really it's such an honor to be here, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Before our next speaker comes up, Chris Conklin with DOT, I want to take the opportunity to acknowledge the Department of Environmental Protection, Jennifer Macedonia, and the Department of Permitting Services, represented by Rabia Sabakan, who I'm not sure if he made it today. When we build a facility like this is a relatively tight site when you think of all the things that are happening here, including some environmental underground chambers for handling runoff and stormwater, and working with our Environmental Protection Department and Permitting Services Department. I got to tell you, DGS is doing some crazy stuff, and we're always taking things to permitting or environmental protection saying, what about this? And it has been a delight to work as a team to get the input and collaboration from these folks. And it really is, people are unaware of all the machinations of county government and the processes. I'm like any other builder. I have to get permits and approvals from government agencies. And Jennifer, your staff was great. Thank you very much. And Robbie and the folks from Permitting Services, my gratitude as well. Couldn't have done it without you. Everything that I do, for the most part, is for the benefit of another county department. We talk in DGS that we exist to make other departments successful. You may not realize it, but this facility is actually jointly operated by both the Department of General Services and the Department of Transportation. On this side, we fix and maintain not only buses, but highway equipment and other apparatus that's used across the county. And on that side is our Transit Operations Division of DOT. So I always enjoy talking about our clients, but especially in the case of Department of Transportation, which is led by a good friend, a trusted and respected associate, and a true professional, Chris Conklin, Department of Transportation Director.
Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us today. I'm going to talk a little bit about Ride-On, or a little bit about our history, a little bit where we're going, and how this project fits into it. You may have noticed the name of this facility is the David Bone Operations Center. David was really the architect of the Ride-On system. He established the way the system would work, what its purpose was, how it functioned, and when this facility opened, it was named after him. He recently passed away, so we just want to take a moment to recognize the legacy he created when he helped establish the Ride-On system. Our most important service in terms of transit is connecting our residents to the things they need every day: groceries, medical care, education, employment, recreation. There are a lot of people that depend on this system who aren't able to drive their own car, either because they don't have one or they have conditions that limit their ability to drive. And it's essential and relatively unique for a suburban jurisdiction like Montgomery County to provide the extent of services that we do to connect our residents to these services. With that, it's really important that our top priority is creating a system that meets their needs and that we deliver that service every day. So somebody from the Department of Transportation, we get nervous when we start to talk about new technology, changing the operating models, and taking chances in how we're going to make things work. But I really want to thank both the county executive and Director Dice, because their perseverance in terms of convincing us that these are the right things to do and that we are setting the right path for the future and trying out new technologies is critical. We've had battery electric buses in our fleet now for about 8 years, and they're meeting the needs. They're providing the service that we need to. In a couple of weeks, we'll have our first hydrogen fuel cell bus arrive here at this facility, and we hope that they meet our needs. They have met the needs of other agencies on the West Coast and other places that have used this technology for a while, but it's new to us, and we're really excited to push the envelope here and to try to adopt these new technologies that are better for the environment, meet our broader community goals, and allow us to continue to provide that essential service. The other thing I want to mention at the outset is the staff who delivers this service every day. We have over 800 employees represented by the NCGEO union who partner with us every day to provide this service. And implementing a project like this is no small feat. You heard others talk about this already. But we're cooking dinner in a kitchen that's under construction for a year plus here. And the perseverance of our leaders in transit operations, working with the facilities and fleet staff to move things around, to avoid construction, to allow all this to happen, and delivering that full complement of services of 200 buses leaving this facility every morning to move our citizens deserves a round of applause. So thank you to all of the staff who are instrumental in allowing this to happen. The other thing to mention is the importance of hydrogen fuel. Battery electric buses are going to meet about half our needs as a county, but half our routes are too long to be effectively served by battery electric with its current capabilities. Hydrogen allows us to serve those 200-plus mile routes effectively with minimum downtime for refueling and in an environmentally responsible way, and we're looking forward to seeing how that works. They're also a critical part of our plans to improve transit in this county. As this place continues to grow and our roadways demonstrate their constraints more and more and the inability to move everybody in their private car, having better, more effective, and more reliable transit is a key component of our ability to grow and sustain the needs of this county. We're working hard to implement bus rapid transit throughout the county. The first project is in service on US 29. We are about to begin a real construction of the second one this year. I want to give a shout out to our colleagues here from PEPCO, where we are in the midst of utility relocation on Veers Mill Road now. They've completed the first phases and expect to have all of the utilities relocated so that we can reconstruct by the end of this year. And we're really proud of the partnership we've built with the team from PEPCO, both in energy projects like the one you see here today and in the work out in the field, allowing us to improve the infrastructure. And I really do appreciate that partnership and their ability to support us. This is really an important day. The facility you see here is the power source for our hydrogen generation. We are about to embark on the construction of the hydrogen fueling facility itself using federal aid that is supporting both the acquisition of the buses and the hydrogen fueling station. So I want to thank the federal delegation representatives here today who have helped advocate for that support, and to our colleagues at the Federal Transit Administration who have continued to move these grant processes forward so that we can implement these critical infrastructure projects. So thank you so much for joining us today. We've got a lot of exciting history with Ride-On and the way that it meets the needs of the community. and a lot of exciting things on the horizon that are going to show an even bigger role in meeting our mobility needs through transit in this county. I appreciate everybody's attendance, and thank you.
We've heard much discussion about our partnership and the strategic partnership that we've had. I've tried to recognize all of the various participants that made up a dynamic and ultimately very successful team. And all of that is led by an organization that has a true vision for the future. It's great to have a partner that you don't have to convince when you come up with a crazy idea. They say, yeah, and also we can do this. And that has been Alpha Structure. And it's been a joy for us as a county government to work with a partner and their partners to help us achieve what truly is an outstanding outcome. So I'd like Troy Patton, General Manager with Alpha Structure, to come and speak to us. Troy, thank you.
Thank you, Director Dice. So I am Troy Patton. I'm the General Manager at Alpha Structure. I actually got my start in microgrids in the power space as a naval nuclear power operator on board a fast attack submarine. So 75 shipmates and I descended to complete our mission. And I very much felt that spirit as I met Director Dice in the Rockville County building last week, and he pointed out the cafeteria table where the original agreement for cooperation was negotiated 7 years ago, with a vision that I don't think we were really sure at the time how ambitious it was, how complex it was going to become, and all of the different innovation from a financial model and a business model to the technology that's being deployed that was going to be necessary to get us where we are today. And so you've heard some statistics and descriptions of this facility. It is unique. The ambitions of the state and the county here at EMTOC and across the county are like none we've seen anywhere in the world. The ability to charge solar panels, to use batteries, which you see right here on the right. These are Schneider Electric batteries. They've been very hard at installing, commissioning, round-trip efficiency testing last week. The SCADA, this has been a home to Maeve, the project manager, and the rest of our technical team, a lot of which is here today. This trailer's been our home for a number of months as we've gotten everything installed. The connection to Pepco is right behind us. This enables us to pull power off the grid when we need it, or in days like today when the sun is shining and we don't have as many buses because we wanted to make room for people, we're able to deliver low-cost power back to EMTOC through the net metering program here in the state of Maryland. So, again, the innovation and complexity has required on time, on budget, every single day, every single week, folks are meeting here. I'm really proud of the cooperation we have with suppliers. So I'd like to recognize some of them. We see some of the Maryland County officials here today. Their employees have been key. If you've ever renovated your house and tried to live in it while you're doing renovations, you get a tiny sense of what it was like trying to do this construction while operating a bus depot. And that's what's happened over the last couple of years. And it's really the employees you see walking around here are the ones that have enabled us to continue to support ongoing operations while putting this new capability in. But I would like to recognize Pepco. I would like to recognize Mortensen, our local EPC contractor, did a lot of the engineering, procurement, construction, as long as AZO. A lot of the jobs that came from this construction over the last year or so have come from certainly the state of Maryland, but even here in Montgomery County. And we're really proud of the fact that it was locals here making this facility better and making it work. WSP has been key for us, Heliox, and Schneider Electric, as I mentioned before, kind of bringing the best technology they can find anywhere, using local labor to get everything installed here and get it done on time. So thank you again, Director Dice, for giving us the opportunity to say thanks to our local contractors and the people of Montgomery County.
Now, I know secretly all of you sitting out there in the cheap seats one day really want to sit up here on the podium, don't you? Come on, you can admit it. Well, it's really easy to do. You just write a check for $1.5 million to Montgomery County, and you too can sit in that chair. Eric Kaufman is a good friend to DGS, used to work in DGS. I like to think that we trained him to do crazy things in Maryland, and he has reciprocated by helping us do crazy things working with the Maryland Energy Administration. Eric's a good friend, and I know he can talk to us about what's going across the state. But again, as the Lieutenant Governor said, you can take the staffer out of Montgomery, but you can't take Montgomery out of the person. Eric, would you come and speak?
Thank you, Director Dice, and I keep coming back. Hey, couldn't be a nicer day for this event, right? Think about all the energy that is being could be generated right now in this sunny, sunny day. But it is my pleasure to join Montgomery County here today to celebrate the completion of the David H. Bone Equipment Maintenance Transit Operations Center microgrid. I mean, this is a tremendous project. It's on the leading edge, and it really, truly is that shining example of something I sometimes call the future of bringing a whole bunch of different technologies together for an outcome that benefits the community, the budget, and our environment. Clean transportation, resiliency, clean energy, energy storage, things that make our grid stronger and the work we all do to support our community stronger. So at the Maryland Energy Administration, we are advancing Governor Moore, Lieutenant Governor Miller's energy agenda with an emphasis on affordable energy, reliable energy, and clean energy. The Maryland Energy Administration administers the Strategic Energy Investment Fund, a statewide strategic resource, it's in the name, to help drive down costs of clean energy, energy efficiency, and help projects like this, as well as low to moderate income Marylanders and all sorts of projects across the state. We provide grants, and grants like the $1.5 million the Strategic Energy Investment Fund provided to Montgomery County help leverage private capital to make these projects come to fruition. And we have recently provided Montgomery County another $7 million to continue their work. So we look forward to working with the county in the future, being your partner in change, and appreciate the opportunity to share this moment and celebrate this great facility and fantastic day with you.
Now, saving the best for last, it's been mentioned, our partner in crime here in delivering energy to the county and energy to this facility is PEPCO. Now, PEPCO has been involved with our projects throughout the county, and we've worked with them on a strategic basis. The concern, of course, that we've all heard in the news about the energy infrastructure. You may not realize we're going to cut a ribbon here in just a little bit, but while we're standing here talking, this facility is already generating electricity. And much of the electricity being generated over our heads today is going back out into the power grid. Now, I talked to Amber earlier. She's very relieved to know that they can go back this afternoon and tell their customers, yes, you can turn the lights on tonight, because we are putting power back into the grid. You're welcome. So I looked at the people who registered, and I wondered if there was anyone back in PEPCO's offices today, because so many of you are here today. If you're a PEPCO employee, please stand up. We want to thank you. Come on. Honestly, the details that go into coming in with a connection agreement with PEPCO, going back and forth, very, very challenging. There's a lot of different offices and people involved on both sides. But I have to say, I don't think the county's relationship with PEPCO has been as better than it is right now, and I attribute a lot of that to the leadership of Amber Perry, PEPCO Vice President. Amber, would you come speak to us?
Thank you, sir. Okay, well, good morning, everyone. And you saw all the PEPCO employees that are here today stand up. I was going to actually have you all stand up if you didn't already do it, but we did. I will say our team is phenomenal. We really do work around the clock for our customers. We're always engaged in our communities. I'm a Montgomery County resident, and so this is just exciting to be here this morning. I think It feels good to be here. I've been here a couple of times, but to finally say this project is done. I know many of you were here on the 100-degree day of the groundbreaking, and just to be here and say we are now transferring this to say it is done is an amazing feat, I will say. First, I want to acknowledge all of the public officials that are here today and just thank them really for your unwavering support for clean transportation projects here in Maryland and Montgomery County, and just continuing to support the county's climate action plan. Thank you to County Executive Mark Elrich, certainly Lieutenant Governor Marina Miller here, Marilyn Balcom. Certainly appreciate your continued support, and absolutely Director Dice, who is here for really everything in this county that we've been able to achieve. We know that energy is top of mind for everyone. Certainly in Maryland, we just couldn't ask for a better partner. I also want to thank just the partnership we've had. We started some of the largest and most innovative projects, and I love when you said we love crazy, innovative ideas. At PEPCO, we're always looking for what's that crazy, innovative idea. Call us in. We love it. But really, as you already know, this is one of the largest renewable energy-powered transit depots, and the first on the East Coast to integrate on-site green hydrogen production. Officially on March 31st, PEPCO issued the approval to operate, which is a big deal for us, the engineers here in the audience. That's a big deal, right? For the EMTOC bus depot interconnection application. It says it's formally completed. The microgrid, as you heard, will produce 4.6 megawatts of solar, 2 megawatts of battery storage, and support approximately 200 zero-emissions buses, which is phenomenal. PEPCO stands side by side in Montgomery County towards a cleaner energy future, and deeply appreciates the partnerships from all corners of county government, local organizations, and those who live and work here in Montgomery County and Maryland. PEPCO just doesn't live and work and support our communities every day. We're really in the energy fight. If you think about it, there's a lot of transition that's happening in our energy industry right now, and we're front and center every day fighting for our customers. You kind of sort of think about some of the things that we're focused on right now. PEPCO's Path to Clean Energy initiative, where we're really committed at PEPCO to 100% carbon-free operations by 2050, with a goal really to convert 50% of our fleet to electric or hybrid vehicles by 2030 and 100% by 2050. So we're proud to say we're on track to meet that goal, and this is one of the key projects here in the county that continues to support that as well. Interconnecting Montgomery County to solar to keep clean energy costs down and then help the county meet their energy goals is top of mind. As of April 2026, PEPCO completed over 17,000 solar interconnections, which is a huge feat. I mean, I look at the electricity today and the power generation today. These solar panels are smiling on a sunny day like this, and we're very happy to support. I also want to, we also focus a lot on our customers right now. Not everyone can sort of come along in the energy transition. Sure, we are certainly focused on our customers when it comes to energy cost and supply costs right now. Very focused on what we call our Exelon Promise, which is really supporting our customers and giving them total to date $8.5 million in credits to their bill to help them with their energy cost. So at PEPCO, we're not only supporting our customers from a cost perspective, but we're also supporting zero emissions in the county here and in Maryland. So in closing, I want to absolutely thank everyone today for joining us here in the community and to commemorate this amazing event. So thank you all again today.
All right, so we're about to cut a ribbon, and but after we do that, we have a couple of things going on. We've got a charging demo that you're welcome to participate in. We're going to be taking some photos, and we've got lots of refreshments that we encourage you to partake of. To make this official, we have to cut a ribbon, or else we have to turn everything off and go home. So I'm going to have my folks string the ribbon now. Need a ribbon to string. Then I'm going to ask our officials and speakers to stand in front of the stage where the ribbon cutting will take place, as led and directed by the county executive. Let's make sure the photos can capture the wonderful ribbon. All right.
So in the health systems, what we're doing is bringing programs together. And this, actually not this year, but in 2025, just last year, I can't believe it's 2026,